I'm having trouble until something comes. Yeah, they brought it
Okay, my watch is 7:30, so we'll get started. The city of Briaroaks City Council is now in session. Roll call.
Mr. Mabry,
Here.
Phillip Laux,
Here.
Jack Perkey,
Here.
and Bode,
Here.
Terri Witcher,
Here.
Carolyn Johnson.
Here.
Everybody's present, we do have a quorum.
All right. We need the approval of the minutes from the last meeting.
Meeting minutes from June 7th, 2021. Call to order. The meeting was called to order at 7:25 p.m., 7:29 p.m. by Mayor Mr. Jerry D. Mabry. Roll call. Mayor Mabry, council members Andy Bode, Jack Perkey, Terri Witcher, Carolyn Johnson. Discussion and possible appointment and administration of oaths to council member for vacated place 1 council position. Councilmember Bode nominated Phillip Laux. Councilmember Witcher nominated Linda Simpson. Mayor Mabry asked for additional nominations. Councilmember Johnson motion to close the nominations. Councilmember Bode seconded. 5-0 in favor. Motion carried. Mayor Mabry calls for the vote for Mr. Laux. Councilmembers Johnson and Bode voted in favor. Councilmembers Perkey and Witcher were opposed. Mayor Mabry asked for those in favor of Linda Simpson. Councilmembers Witcher and Perkey voted in favor. Councilmembers Johnson and Bode were opposed. Mayor Mabry broke the tie and voted for Mr. Laux. City Secretary Kelly Alpin swore in Mr. Laux. Review and approve minutes from the April 5th, 2021 meeting. Councilmember Bode wanted it notated that the previous mayor, Martin Salinas, said we should drop the issue for 2145 Harbor Road, and it shouldn't appear on future agendas. Councilmember Witcher stated that it's council's responsibility to enforce. Councilmember Laux wanted it notated to change the agenda line item to only say discussion and possible action on hiring code and compliance staff member. Councilmember Bode wanted it notated that the payroll company is a separate line item and has to be taken care of before we talk about the budget. Councilmember Witcher made a motion to accept the minutes as corrected. Councilmember Bode seconded. 5-0 in favor, motion carried. Review and approve the treasurer's report. After a lengthy discussion on who the treasurer is, Secretary Alvin read the March report she prepared. Councilmember Witcher made a motion to accept it. Councilmember Perkey seconded. 5-0 in favor, motion carried. Secretary Alvin read the April report she prepared. Councilmember Witcher asked for a motion to accept both reports. Mayor Mabry called for the vote. 5-0 in favor, motion carried. Animal control report. Vicki Perkey read the animal control report herself. Appoint a mayor pro tem. Mayor Mabry opened the floor for nominations. Councilmember Johnson nominated Councilmember Bode. Councilmember Perkey nominated Councilmember Witcher. Mayor Mabry asked for all in favor of Councilmember Bode. Councilmembers Johnson, Bode, and Laux voted in favor. Councilmember Bode continues as mayor pro tem. Hire a police officer. Mayor Mabry said we will discuss at a later date to determine what we want. Police report. Mayor Mabry said we don't have a police report because we don't have one on staff. Discussion and employment of officials who will have authority to conduct financial transactions for the city. After a lengthy discussion, Councilmember Perkey made a motion for Councilmember Bode to to run a background check on Ms. Halpin. Councilmember Bode seconded. 5-0 in favor, motion carried. Councilmember Bode made a motion for Mayor Mabry, Councilmembers Bode and Johnson to be authorized to sign checks for the city at this time. Councilmember Johnson seconded. Mayor Mabry called for the vote. Councilmembers Johnson and Bode voted in favor. Councilmembers Laux, Witcher, and Perkey were opposed. 2-3, the motion failed. Councilmember Bode made a motion for Mayor Mabry, Councilmember Bode, and Secretary Alphen to be on the account after a background check. Councilmember Laux seconded. 5-0 in favor, motion carried. Review and approve the 2021 budget. Councilmember Bode made a motion to accept the 2021 budget as amended to include separate line items for donation and utilities. Councilmember Witcher seconded. 5-0 in favor, motion carried. Discussion and possible action on hiring a police officer. A lengthy discussion ensued. Councilmember Bode made a motion to table the hiring of a police officer, find out what memorandum of understanding or MOU is, and find out who we need to advertise with until the next meeting. Councilmember Johnson seconded. 5-0 in favor, motion carried. Discussion and possible action on discontinuing or retaining the current Briaroaks website. Councilmember Bode made a motion not to pay any more on this particular one, and we will have another one waiting to replace it. No second, the motion died. Discussion and possible action on hiring a city attorney. Councilmember Bode talked to TML and received a list of 6 firms in our area. Councilmember Witcher added 1 name to the list. Councilmember Bode said he will talk to each one about retainer, hourly fee, and about them attending meetings. Councilmember Bode made a motion for him to speak with each attorney on the list. Councilmember Perkey seconded. 5-0 in favor, motion carried. Councilmember Bode and Witcher to give their list to the secretary for record keeping. Discussion and possible action on contacting residents concerning city business and Briaroaks and city ordinances. Councilmember Witcher wants open communication to the citizens on what the city is doing and help to hold people accountable to the ordinances. Councilmember Witcher made a motion for a mail out to the citizens. A draft to be presented at a later date. Councilmember Perkey seconded. 5-0 in favor, motion carried. Discussion and possible action on contract with Johnson County Precinct 3, Mike White, for falling trees and easements. After a lengthy discussion on who owns the right-of-way and easements and who is responsible to maintain those areas, no decision was made or voted on. Adjournment. Councilmember Witcher made a motion to adjourn and Councilmember Perkey seconded. Guest, Mr. Fields, asked to talk about bricks that are in the dip on Trailwood Drive, just before the east and west split. He asked council what they were going to do about the bricks. Guest, Mr. Bogart, says landowners have to file on each other when there is an issue. Councilmember Johnson states the resident can't stop up a roadway. Councilmember Bode interrupted Mr. Fields. He became upset when he wasn't being heard and leaves the room. Councilmember Bode said the neighbors should go over there and discuss with the residents. Yes, Mr. Alvin said the leader in our community should be the one to address it with residents. A member of the governing body needs to enforce this. Yes, Mr. Pollard wants to know how we get our ditches cleaned up to drain properly. He cleans out his culverts and water stands on other properties around. Should it be the county? Is there easement or is the property owner's responsibility to take care of them? Mayor Mabry doesn't know if it will ever be corrected. After a lengthy discussion, no decision was made or voted on. At 9:45 p.m., council took a vote to adjourn. 5-0 in favor, motion carried. Discussion and possible action on 2145 Tarver Road. No formal discussion after the correction to the April meeting minutes. No vote was taken to remove from future agendas. Discussion with the attorney followed. Announcements. No discussion. Request for future agenda items. No discussion. There is a video recording of the meeting posted on the city website.
I have a motion, that's the minutes agreed. motion we accept
Uh,
it. Yes.
On number 5, review and approve revenue reports. Down towards the bottom, Councilman Fisher asked for a motion to accept the reports. Who seconded? The first one was already voted on.
I believe it was the same person, right?
Was it the second? Was it Perkey?
That's what I think he said.
Do we have a
Mr. Perkey, second.
second? All in favor? Opposed? All in favor? Five. Treasurer's report.
I did not prepare the May treasury report, since I was told in June that I was no longer the treasurer.
Okay. We'll just take the animal control report.
Well, why don't we have a treasurer's report? I thought Andy was taking out. The treasurer, I thought Andy was taking out the treasurer's report.
Who?
Andy,
Andy.
I need information from Carolyn.
you have asked for it?
She had.
What does that mean?
I've asked for stuff before, and I've got nothing.
What did you ask for? Did you receive? You just made money?
I'll gladly do a trade report if I have the information.
So you should ask Phillip for what they need. That would be okay.
I'm asking.
You haven't asked for anything that pertains to the treasurer's report, other than the actual checkbooks. The actual checkbooks are needed by council members, as we discussed in the June meeting. Council members are not responsible for the checkbooks, the secretary is. I was happy to give you copies, nobody asked for those.
The copies of what?
Of anything, invoices, receivables, checkbook, registers, anything. You haven't called or emailed or anything, sent me a letter, nothing, request.
In bank statements, right?
Right,
Okay.
and you have access to get the bank statement.
Yes.
You're assigned
No.
all the accounts.
Copies of the ones that you have.
Of what matter?
Of the bank statements for the months in question.
Of May? Because I don't have
What you
June.
have.
Okay, so you're asking today.
To do this treasurer's report, to do it next time. To approve it next time.
So you want me to prepare it and not you? I mean, I was told not to do anything with the treasurer.
If you want to prepare what you have, then give it to me, but I want to see copies of the bank statements, or the checks, written.
Now you can see a detailed report.
And
on that.
receipts.
And so we can see all the charges that have happened since the account's been closed, and how many overdrafts, and how much that's cost the city. I need to see a detailed report on the next treasurer's report. Okay? Not just mine, I need it detailed out.
It can be done.
Okay, that's all, I just wanted to put in that request.
Just need the information.
Back to the animal control report.
I have the animal control report. Animal control report for June and July 2021. Had a call about a dog that hurt a coon and needed to do something with the coon. When I got home later, I called, and he and his neighbor had already taken care of it. Drove around looking for anything out of the ordinary. I also have a letter dated July 31st, 2021, to the Briaroaks City Council. This is to inform you that I, Vicki Perkey, am resigning from my position of Animal Control Office for the City of Briaroaks. I'm resigning because I have not been paid or notified as to why I have not received a check for the June and July. The council does not seem to care about the city employees. My resignation is effective as of August 1, 2021. Sincerely, Vicki Perkey.
Well, I've got her check here.
It's a month late.
Terri wants to speak up, I can't hear you.
It's a month late. I can see why she resigned. I mean, her check was due a month ago.
Well, do you think she could let me know?
Why don't you, y'all need to communicate to her why
You what?
y'all should have communicated to her why she didn't get paid. I don't think anybody reached out to her, and I didn't know about all the checking account stuff and all that for a long time.
Well,
So, somebody should have reached out to her. She's been, I don't know how long she's been in animal control, but that's sad, I don't know.
You said she wasn't paid for July? Is that what you're saying?
Her last check, which is due at the first of the month, and she's just now getting it the following month. It just, it's not right. I don't, it's probably, I should
Okay.
somebody from the council who had anything to do with closing the account should have been the one to call her since.
Well, we're not
majority of the
talking
city
about
knows
that right now. We're talking about animal control. Yeah, wait a minute, we'll get down there,
Okay.
okay? Appreciate it. Well, we don't have any, police report. Mr. Fields, I want to apologize to you for not being able to speak at the last council meeting. It seemed like the people were in a hurry to get out,
Yes, they were.
and you got cut off, so I'm sorry. And if anyone wants to speak tonight, when we get through, you're more than welcome to.
And
Okay, Mr. Fields, you
I'd
got.
like to correct that too. I adjourned the meeting, but then when you were on the agenda, I forgot. And I tried to get my stuff out and start again, and Amy said, Terri, what are you doing? And you can't reinstate that if it's an emergency, and this is an emergency, so don't, wasn't, it was me.
Council, thank you for allowing me to speak this evening. I'm bringing up again the bricks in the ditch. They're still there. I had 2 council members come to my house that week to say that they were going to address that. It seems like nothing was done. That's why I'm asking for the council, when you're addressing to look for a police officer or whatever, you really look at a code enforcement officer instead of a police officer. The 20 hours that you're going to pay that person, you can hire from one of the local municipalities because you're to be licensed by the state to be a code enforcement officer, or the council members, as you are the elected officials for this community, to handle that for us. The whole purpose of my concern with that, besides the backing up of the water, is our neighborhood. I don't want it to become disrepaired to the point that people aren't looking into our community to move in here. You have 2 homes that are on the market right now in this area that have been on the market for over 30 days. The going turnaround time for Burleson, for homes to be sold, is between 10 and 13 days. That's not acceptable. That makes it look like we have blight in here to me. Not to say that there's anything, there might be something wrong with the homes on the inside or whatever, but I'm concerned that our neighborhood is gonna become rundown if we don't enforce what we have on the books. That's all I'm asking, is we look at that instead of tabling stuff each time. I've gone through and watched the videos of you folks talking, and you table, and you table, and you table, but nothing seems to be getting done. I'm just asking the council to be proactive and start doing what you were elected to do. On that, I'm done with that. I'm just asking for you to step forward. My second thing that I'd like to bring to the table is we have a fall picnic or something, so people can meet you folks, so community knows who you are. The fire department has a fish fry for them. Briaroaks doesn't have anything to represent us and to introduce you folks to the neighborhood. If you guys get onto next door, people don't know that we're having meetings half the time here. I didn't know that until the last one came around. And that's not acceptable as far as I'm concerned. I like the idea of you guys sending out mailers. That's a great idea. But I think more importantly, I think you folks need to put yourself out to the community. You're the elected officials for this area. We're concerned about Burleson taking us over. We kind of need to let people know that we're chasing this stuff and trying to address it as the leaders of the community. So I'm just asking, let's look at maybe having something this fall. You know, it doesn't take a whole lot to have hot dogs and stuff like this, and if you need somebody to ramrod it, I'll do that for us. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think that's a great idea.
It's an excellent idea. It was brought up years ago. Replace that.
Okay, the financial meetings. Discuss the position of why city bank account was closed. That, okay,
The reason the bank accounts were closed is because this council approved that Mr. Mabry pay the bills.
I can't, he needs to speak up so we can hear.
Yes,
Okay. The council approved to have Mayor Mabry pay the bills. And by the actions, the words of our city secretary, she was not allowing that to happen. She wanted to keep the checks, she wanted to write the checks, nobody else could touch them. So, when it comes time to get his name at the bank, he decided that she not be put on that list. And in order to get him to be able to sign the checks and pay the bills, she would not be included in the new accounts.
She told you why she wouldn't give you a check early. And when y'all did this, you didn't let any of the other council members know that they're changing and closing these accounts. The way that we found out was by email that payroll charged us $100 because the payroll bounced. And there's ramifications when you shut down any account, personal account, anything. There's a lot of things tied to it, accounts receivable and accounts payable. Like the money from the state is our highest revenue generation in the city. So you just shut down everything and didn't think about what would happen, like, losing your animal control officer. And we don't know what happened. The council doesn't know what happened. Only a small handful of people who acted on this did, and they didn't communicate that to him. So it was somewhat of a shock to see that they see so far costing the city $100. We don't know how much insufficient funds and everything. I mean, did you think about that ahead of time, what the domino effect would be, that would impact so much? That's what's, yeah, I think so.
There's a greater impact than what you're talking about. When someone takes all oversight from themselves to where they are the only ones that have access
You have
to the
access,
city's
you always
money,
have.
to the city's money.
You have access, you always have.
I'm not all by myself.
Like she said, you have access to bank accounts.
That is to be decided by the council.
You already decided that when you went down there and changed it.
Who made the
So who's
decision?
on the checking
Mr. Bode or Mr. Lane?
Carl?
Sound like Mr. Bode made the decision to do this.
What?
You have to be on the account. You just made Mr. Mabry on the account, but you're not. Are you telling us?
He is on the account, I'm on the account.
Okay. So you both made the decision and didn't think about the repercussions. And for some reason, which argument Kelly is all of a sudden at the last meeting, acting like she'd done something wrong. We need an audit. Yeah, we're going to talk about that a little further down the list, but a professional audit from the CPA. Not from the city council member.
Who authorized this? The mayor or Mayor Pro Tem to close the account?
Sound like Bode.
Who did?
I did. I made the decision to close it.
Why not just remove her from the account?
That was what was said.
She was removed from the account.
So why did you close it?
She would not give up the checkbooks.
We understand that, we heard that. Keep talking. She was removed from the account, so what was the justification for closing it? You wanna talk?
None of the bills been financed, you could go to checkbook.
The bills, as far as I know, all the bills that have come in have been paid.
That's funny, because we just had somebody resign, her bill wasn't paid.
Do what?
We just had somebody resign, her bill was not paid.
Thank you.
There you go.
Now, I still didn't understand.
I didn't bring a box of crayons, I'm sorry.
I'm hardly hearing one that can't hear out there.
And I do have a question about one bill that we got in from Election Systems and Software. Do you have an invoice for $1,000 invoice?
No.
Because I don't know what it's for. It doesn't say. I've tried to contact it. Did you start an online account?
No.
Okay. Because they will not return calls.
I've only done everything.
If you don't have it, then I'll just keep trying.
I don't know what that would be for.
This is kind of dangerous with the council members not knowing that the checking account is closed. Don't you think?
I think there's a problem with no transparency or communication.
But you
I'm not
have
saying
to
it's
sign
illegal.
the checks, though. If you're so worried about her doing something wrong, how come you don't have one of them sign it? And then y'all know what the checks are being.
She can sign a check.
No, but I'm just saying, instead of like y'all did, just have two people sign it. Have the mayor and the pro tem. Then they'll go, oh, what's this check for? Have two people sign it, instead of just one.
Easy checks and balances.
You know, if you have a question, here's here's a matter, why we got this bill for? Okay, well, we done. Instead of having two, there's
I think the
permission.
checks have place for two signers.
Yeah, very simple.
Something.
That was brought up in the last council meeting with you
Two
folks,
people.
to have two signers on there. And that was a big hubbub about Mr. Bode being on the checking account in the first place. That was your heated conversation that you guys had. This concerns me as a citizen, what you guys are talking about. There could be some fraud in here from the council members.
Fraud and extortion.
I don't know if it's illegal for the mayor to set up a new account, but it is illegal for the payroll not to go through.
Well, probably Mr. Brody was on this council way before, and the other, mayors.
And I wasn't being allowed to sign checks. That's what I said, there's no.
And Mr. Bode at that time recommended a two-signature check signing procedure, and Selena said no. So now we're back into it now, and now we're not doing it two signatures.
Yes, we are.
With whose two signatures?
Mine and Bode's. Because he was already on it. And the mayor was already on it, but he was no longer.
Well, why didn't you tell us that you'd made this decision, because then we wouldn't have to go through closing the accounts and doing all this?
Who won?
That you were reenacting the double signatures. So if that's the case, why didn't you close the accounts? Because then you did, you weren't able to sign it.
Because the council didn't approve it.
What'd you say?
They didn't approve it, obviously.
Well, very simple, Terry. At the time, I did not trust Terry. And I'm not sure I still trust her.
How long have you known Carolyn?
What?
How long have you known Carolyn? She's been our city secretary.
Not as long as she's known me.
There's giving you no reason for that.
You guys were
Well, that's
supposed
your
to
opinion, in my opinion.
do, y'all were supposed to do a background check in the last,
Yeah, background check.
All you have to do is audit stuff and you can see this. What's the problem with auditing right there? If you just, if you don't trust her, what she's doing, you audit.
Or fired.
She's doing a great job.
I don't know the last time I've seen her.
Did somebody in there that has had y'all's back?
That has to be done. Totally agree. There's no way that we can go on without an audit from the CIA. Not with the council.
If you accepted the previous mayor's decision that he was the only one to sign it, why can't you accept what the present mayor?
We should have done an audit years ago, way before the past mayor, way before now. Only because I didn't do as much research as I have now, about what's going on. You're right, I should have done so much more research prior to it.
I'm gonna butt in right there. That's what most of this room does not know. It was a year ago at a meeting when the council brought up to the present mayor, and I was out here in the crowd, why are you signing the checks, Mr. Mayor? Well, we don't have a secretary, it's always been a two-signature check, as long back as anyone can remember. And he said, I'm not gonna chase somebody down and sign a check. And they said,
I was here.
that's the process, and he said, I'm not gonna do it. And he was writing his own checks. It went haywire over a year ago with a different mayor. This is still an attempt at correction from that. He hired a new secretary. It has approved by council, and I believe he had the checks. Okay, and the signature thing is all trying to be corrected still. It's not a personal vendetta, it probably is on it. However, this all went haywire many, many months ago, when most of these people weren't here and don't understand how.
it's been 2 months. How long does it take to do a background check on her?
And there
Should take 2 days.
was no double signature when Mary Foster was signing the checks.
Yes, there was.
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
Everyone,
Yes.
yes, I can prove that. Yes, they were.
Okay.
The mayor and Mary signed both.
Mr. Dunn signed a bunch of blank checks.
Exactly.
Yeah, and
Thank you.
I have copies.
Thank you.
It's two signatures.
Yeah, but I have copies
That
of blank
brings-
checks that Mr. Salinas voided when he received the checkbook.
Thank you.
So she was not getting legit double signatures.
Exactly.
That
He
person-
signed blank checks, handed those over to her. She
You don't
signed
need
the
election
election.
day.
And
You
it
don't
doesn't-
need election day. You weren't here.
It doesn't
You
But I
matter.
got
It doesn't
evidence.
matter. It's
You
just-
weren't here when Mary Foster
It
was.
doesn't matter, it's just to the point that it's
Yeah.
just been going on a little longer.
It takes
That goes back
time.
even further than that thing. So this is all still an attempt at correcting
Exactly.
that system.
Exactly.
Oh, it's not-
public knowledge.
not a new
So
thing.
if we wanna know where
It's
the
still
money's
not
going,
correct.
they have to show us.
Signing blank checks and handing them to somebody else breaks the spirit of what 2 signatures on a check
You're right.
mean.
But
But
then
yet that
so
was-
was one person oversight over herself.
I'm gonna put it on the council. I'm gonna put on the council that, no, this is what I'm gonna do. This is what I would say. I would put it on the council. They've approved treasury report after treasury report for years and have never audited anything. So that's on y'all. I mean, y'all are the elected officials and y'all choose not to look at stuff.
Let me ask you something. How do you know so much and you don't even live in Briaroaks?
They own property.
I own property in Briaroaks, sir.
What kind of property you own?
I own land on Valley View.
You what?
I own land on Valley View.
Okay.
Why does that matter?
I'm just curious.
Okay.
You do a lot of talking. You
I have a financial interest.
Well, I'm curious, since y'all changed the bank account, where's y'all's treasury report? How much money do we have? Where is it? Whose pocket is it?
Where's it, close it, where can you go to?
Yeah, where do you go? Y'all have council? That you can show the council? You don't have to tell me, just show the council.
Right now, the money is in the city's pocket.
It should have always been the
That's
city's
why
property.
the accounts will close. You do
What
not
does that,
want-
what does that mean in the city's pocket?
Yeah,
What does that mean in the city's pocket?
It is in the accounts. It is all on paper.
so what's the balances?
You should know the balance right now, since you are the authorized signatures, you should know that we have $10 in there as of today, correct?
I can tell you within probably a couple $1,000 for it.
So how much did you pull out?
There's about $205,000 in the main checking account. There's $8,000 in our savings account. There is about $2,400 in the special account. Plus CD.
So did y'all close the account, or just change?
And the reason those are there is because when we did change the accounts, we know that they are there. Whenever the procedures break down, you've got to stop and hit a reset.
That's correct, but you need to get the
This
council
is-
vote on it. You don't go out arbitrarily and do it yourself.
This is a process that we are in. This is not a permanent setting.
This is a scary setting.
That This
It's
council
a
does.
scary setting, because the two of y'all decided to take the city's money and do what you want.
And I hear Mr. Bode talking for the mayor, is what I'm hearing. That's
We have
even scary.
Do we have Mayor Bode or Mayor Mabry?
That's a little disrespectful.
I'm just saying, it's like.
Yeah, you've been disrespectful this whole
You damn
time.
right I have. That's why I came here.
Okay, let's get back to the
So,
meeting.
what gives you the right to be disrespectful?
When I watch a video of you guys are disrespecting something that I gave to the city and built to the city, especially Bode, that's why I'm here. I'm gonna go ahead and clear the record on this website.
And you
I'll
can't
sit
do it,
here
you
and-
can't do it in a civilized manner?
Yeah, I will. Absolutely. When I get to that topic, it'll be civilized. Until then, I'm gonna continue this.
Okay, so until then, you're gonna be an asshole.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That was the intent. Absolutely.
Okay.
No worries.
Anyhow,
Could we get to the business?
Let's get back to the business of the
And
meeting.
get this, I thought this was a business. I thought this was a business, Joel, you haven't about. I don't know, I can't keep up with it.
So the background check wasn't done?
And let's make a motion first. I really would like for us to make a motion that we have somebody do an audit. Because I don't want it just to be tabled. Everything we can say is tabled.
Are you making that motion?
Yes.
I'll second.
Okay.
can it be done before the next council meeting?
I don't know,
No.
don't stop. They gotta find an auditor,
No, we got three.
not everybody.
And I would like to say that because we're supposed to be finding city attorneys and doing all this stuff, and which I have on the website, but nothing ever happens. We need to put somebody in charge of that. Because it's gonna be 2 months before we come back here again and say, okay, I found somebody, and then you're gonna go, let me call them and make sure that's the best person. So then it'll be 4 months out.
Shorten it up.
We have to
You set a deadline.
That's where I was going with that.
Set a
We need
deadline.
December 31st, this needs to be complete or something. That's fair enough time, I think.
Complete. But how many more city council meetings do we have before that? That we can say we're gonna go with the CPA. This can't go on forever.
Do we need to go to monthly meetings?
I've tried that multiple times.
It needs to be on.
Yep, so,
So,
all right, so, if we come up with a CPA firm, we'll give it to Kelly, and then she can email all of us, but we need to respond quickly. You know, do we need to have another city council meeting for this? Do we need to have a special meeting? But I tried that before too. So, how long is it gonna be before we can approve the CPA?
all I can do is guess.
Has the city ever done this?
No. Not before.
Actually, they have one time. They have one time for the police account, when they were sent to the police account.
Even as the city, you're required to do an annual audit and y'all don't do it?
Well, we should have done it. But we need a city attorney to tell people that they're just supposed to do this. And they really, well, they haven't had one in years and years. So every person that I've talked to about this, and I have several, as far as, you know, the sheriff's office, the DA, and, you know, municipal attorneys, first thing they say, and I've said this before, is you need a city attorney. So I've been wanting to get that for months. So I know the same thing that happened with the CPA audit, where we're a year down the road going, why don't we have a city attorney? So how quickly are we gonna get the CPA audit? About 2 months?
Terry, who are you talking to?
I'm talking to Bode.
He's not the mayor.
Okay, you're exactly right, but he's the only one answering. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
how quickly do you think we can get the CPA audit done? We don't wanna wait till 2 months down the road, and then we come up with the CPA, but then somebody has to research it, just like we've done with the attorney.
Well, we'll just have to find someone to do it.
Okay, so
Well, that's a fact.
if I find somebody that will do it,
In the 36 years that I sat on the city council, to my knowledge, the city council or the city was never audited. In 36 years.
we're not saying that we're gonna be audited, we're saying that we need to audit the books to make sure the
That's
city
what
is
I'm
doing
talking
correctly.
about.
And this
That's
is it.
what I'm talking about. Yes, they definitely need to be audited, the books.
Okay, so can we do it quickly?
Well, I don't know how quickly.
Well, we need to make the time.
We just have to find someone that will do it.
Is 2 months not enough time to find somebody?
That was too much time.
It is too much time.
I say a month. The problem,
Do
I
you
don't
know-
think
do
the
you
problem
know
will be the
anyone that-
deadline. It's gonna be the CPA are already coming in and don't have any receipts or anything to go by to audit. That's gonna be the problem.
There's a lot of CPAs out there, I'm sure we can find them.
They have to be specialized in government auditing.
Can someone outside the council find a CPA or do you guys have to do it?
I think if you supply a referral. I
Does
think
someone
that'd be
outside of the council, can they find a CPA or do you all have to do that?
That's a good question.
No, I can help them. I mean,
Okay, I'll try to find a CPA within a month.
Okay,
By the next meeting, I'll have a
well, our
CPA.
meetings are only every other month.
Oh, I'm sorry, that's long, but I.
That is way too long.
Okay, I still can have a CPA by next month, and I can give it to someone on the council.
okay.
And then we have to have a special meeting. to-
I'm AJ Sherrill, I live at 2052 Trailwood, been there since 2008. This is my first meeting, that's my fault.
If you find one, we can call a special meeting and get it approved and get it started.
Okay, well, basically, the only person who I know lives anywhere is Mayor Mabry, he's my neighbor. So I can, if I find them,
Kelly has an address. She has a city.
on the city website, okay. When I find someone, I will email you, and I'll also let the mayor know at the same time. That way, we're tag team.
That's a good.
I'll have it within the month.
May I have your name?
AJ Sherrill.
But then, are we going to wait until the next month to actually take any action on that?
No, I think we all on special.
Okay, so we're gonna have a special meeting, okay.
I-
That's a good idea.
If that's okay with the mayor, he will call us.
Okay, I have another question, if I may.
Yeah.
Is there a budget
Yes.
for this CPA?
No,
What do you and do you not want to
Yes,
spend?
there is. It's in the budget.
A number has been put in the budget for the past 2 years. someone enlighten me of what that is?
It's
$10,000.
10,000?
The number we had in there, I believe, was $10,000.
Okay.
That's probably not enough.
That's more than, it's a good place to start.
Is it still in?
For an audit.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was in there.
We have a $10,000 budget for an audit.
Okay. I'm sorry?
Been needed for a while.
Right. How long has it been needed? You said it's been needed for a while. How long has it been needed, Mr. Bode? You said it's been needed for a while. How long has it been needed?
36 years?
So you've been on council the last, how many years?
I didn't know that.
How long have you been on
Because
council?
of the past history.
If you're gonna set an auditor.
I have tried to have an audit done since I joined the council.
If you're gonna
But
set
it
an auditor.
fell on deaf ears at the time. They didn't want to do it.
Okay.
It cost too much. That's one thing I heard. There you go.
That's right. That's right.
Okay, let's see, we get back on the agenda. Yeah.
Yeah, really. Probably out of 10.
What was the final discussion on that? About outstanding items?
I don't really.
Nothing was said.
I don't think they got to it yet.
We're on 9, Mayor. We're on number 9, Mayor. Good point. Does there need to be
On number 9, discussion, possible action, one,
Terry made a motion for the audit and they voted.
Mayor Mabry chose not to pay outstanding items that need to be paid. Wasn't worth it, it wasn't it.
Can I say something real quick before we go to the next thing? Did we pass that? I know Bode seconded, but as far as having an audit, I made a motion and Bode seconded. Are we
I
done?
didn't hear that we had, did someone put it on the floor?
Yes,
I made a
you did.
motion that we have an audit from the CPA and Bode seconded that.
Just second,
I second.
all in favor? Okay.
Yeah. Anybody in the audience? Yes, sir. You bet.
Carolyn, Carolyn, this is your, part of your doings. You wanna,
Discussions and possible actions on matter, choose not to pay outstanding items that need to be paid. And honestly, I think we talked about that. I mean, if I'm wrong, tell me. Don't have anything else to say. So if they don't, then we'll go down to number 10.
Mine was taken care of.
okay,
Are we gonna finish paying Mrs. Perkey for time served?
action on the updating account receivable.
Ms. Whipper, are they gonna pay?
He said he had a check.
He said he got a check.
Okay, never mind.
Any discussion?
Discussion of possible action on paying accounts receivable. Well, that's really, the receivable is who we can make our money state.
Right.
And AT&T, and I don't know all of them off the top of my head, have, since you closed the account, have these people been told that the new account is, so we will actually get that money?
That's actually income. It's not accounts receivable, so all that's taken care of. The direct deposits have been taken care of. It's going into the new account.
Okay, well, what will we just see that, I guess?
Most of the others are mailed. Matter of fact, everything but the comptroller This mail, I think it's the positive when we get it.
Okay, so when you do that detailed treasury report, we'll be able to see that.
Yes.
Okay. Discussing possible action, updating all city records.
I think that'd be part of the audit too.
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah, definitely should be, we should look into a lot of things.
That's kind of that's kind of very general. In the future, could you get more specific about, like, this item?
Well,
I'm just saying, that's a very general statement, of all this, all that.
well, this is not, I mean,
It was just a
this
suggestion.
agenda, I didn't even get to see. Normally, they ask all the city council members if they have something they want to add to the agenda. I emailed you Sunday, week or whatever ago, I never heard back from you because I called Kelly to go, where's the agenda? And I know I talked to Mr. Mabry about having my special items from the special meeting that didn't happen over here. But then she informed me that you were doing the agendas, now you've done this meeting and the prior. Oh, no, I didn't even know you were doing this, and so that's why I emailed you. So then she said, Mr. Mabry said, all the city council members have seen the agenda, they don't have to add anything. I saw the final product. And I did have to ask somebody to add it because somebody had told me when they had that, on Valley View, it's been a few weeks ago, they had a big party and a live band. A few people got on that, and it wasn't so good. And I said, I'll see if I can get that on the next agenda. All city council members should be asked if they have it, it's always been before, that they asked us if we had any items to add to the agenda. So, yeah. So we're on number 12 now, does anybody have anything to say?
I think I told Kelly not to add anything to the agenda tonight for the simple reason that it was very lengthy and I knew that there was gonna be quite a bit of discussion. So that was the only reason why. Anytime that someone wants to add something, run it by me and Kelly, and we'll see what can be done.
Okay, so I need to get the agenda items to Kelly, but who's doing the agenda?
I am.
Okay.
Okay?
So you're printing it all out, putting it all together?
You got something?
What's that? No.
Huh?
No.
Okay. On the background, you got it?
Oh, on the background? Other than it would be a moot point, being how that we close the accounts. And if we're going to get an audit, let's get that done. And
No, our last minute meeting, you said as soon as she went through her background check, then she would be back on the account. So now you're going to take it back on
say it again?
the minute meeting's read. As soon as Kelly got her background check, she will be added to that account.
Right, and after that day, she still wrote checks.
Because you asked her to?
Did not ask her to. I did
You came
not.
to me
I
after me
gave you the information
to pay
that
that.
I had.
Or
I gave you the information about the storage facility. And you did pay that. And instead of paying it the next day, you waited until Saturday to pay it. And we
No, I didn't. I was in there on Wednesday.
That's when it went through.
Okay, well, I'm sorry, they didn't post their check until Saturday.
I'm just saying, and you have wrote other checks as well.
Yes, in the direction of Mr. Mabry.
All you had to do was let us know, and we could have paid them. And we wouldn't have had to close down the accounts.
Bottom line is that you do the background check, Mr. Bode.
Bottom line is, we need an audit.
Bottom line is you did not do the background check.
And you need
I
to.
did not.
You did not, and you said you would.
I didn't say when either.
Yeah, you said you would, and it only
But
takes
I
3
will.
days.
I will, and I'll even tell you this, I have no doubt that you will probably pass it.
She's the most honest person in this room.
Right, no.
Give it to the city council.
And you have to do it now because you made it out like she's some form of criminal. Just for name's sake, do it.
I like
Because
that.
the way she's been treated is not okay.
We voted.
It's in the minutes that you're supposed to do it.
We voted it would be done. That's
Yeah.
done.
Can I ask a question? Can I ask a question? Mr. Bode, in June of 2020, you came to the meeting and you said you secured the storage facility for 13 months. Did you?
Did I?
In June of 2020, when you secured the storage facility, was it for 13 months?
It was for 13 months.
So why did you come into the June meeting and tell everybody it was late?
Because I asked for the checks before that meeting.
Why did you lie to everybody here and say it was late?
No.
It wasn't late, it wasn't even due.
You lied to everybody here and manipulated the situation.
I know the answer to that, Mr. Mayor.
Yes,
When he went into the storage unit to find out when it was due, they said it was 12 months instead of 13 months, and it took them time to get that straightened out, that it was 13 months. They told him it was due in June.
That is-
Who has access to that story?
Anybody on the council that wants it?
Did you ever have access?
And that reminds me, Kelly,
So you've never had access?
Not into the storage unit, no.
Yes, you have.
Yes, you
I
have.
have not been in the storage unit.
It's not
You
what
have
I asked.
authorized access.
I do not.
You did.
You
I do
have,
not.
You did.
yes, you did. It's on the contract.
I did not do anything in that storage unit.
Didn't say you
Where's
did.
my signature? I didn't sign or do anything, did I?
It's not about whether you went in there. It's about whether you had authorization
I
to do
don't.
it. You did, but you did.
Somebody else put it on there then, because I didn't.
Mr.
have
Bode
access.
was the only person who had
Don't
authorization
jump
to
on
do that.
me. I'm telling you, I did not have access.
Then you should be mad
You
at your
weren't
council
here,
member.
You don't know, so be quiet.
You should be mad at your
You
council member
don't
for
know,
putting
you
you on
weren't
there.
here, so be quiet.
Mr. Mayor,
yes,
what's in our storage unit? I'm the new guy. What's in the storage unit?
all the records.
Old records.
well, where is the unit?
We're required to keep these by law or?
Oh, yeah, we are.
I'm thinking, I'm checking. How big is it? Where is it at? You been on?
It's a 5 by 8 by 10, I think it says. It's over at the storage depot on, in the creek behind Walmart.
What would pay you? You know?
This year, the bill was the $975.30.
$1,000 a year.
Yes.
Then we have to keep these things 5, 10 years more.
Forever.
Forever.
And then it's climate control.
20-foot container cost.
Put the building into traffic control.
It's climate control.
It's papers. If you put that in this Connex box, it'll get ruined.
They can't put it in their Connex box.
That's where he was going.
But they don't have property to put it on, even if they wanted that.
No, it's gotta be
They
right
have to pay for the
outside.
storage facility.
I have a suggestion.
Kelly, did you bring my key like I requested?
Well, I think after this, we need to have procedures set up as to who has access to the city's storage building. That it shouldn't
Every
be for
council
anybody's,
person
anybody's
has a
family.
key, should have a key.
Well, then they should know that their spouse, their children, and
Kelly
everybody
has
else.
my key.
Don't you agree that only the city council should have access to that storage building?
I don't know.
Really? Who do you think should have had the
I
city
don't,
records?
did you bring my key like I asked you to?
I don't remember a key assigned to you, but I have the keys to the storage.
Each council person had a key. I didn't take mine, and Andy had it. But then he gave all the keys to you when you became our secretary.
I still can make some sort of motion that only the city council people be able to access that storage building. Why would anybody else need to?
You making a motion?
Yes, I make a motion that only city council members are allowed to access that storage building.
There a second? All in favor?
You're saying she can't?
The city council and the city secretary.
Well, no,
She's the
that's
secretary,
different.
not the
That's
council.
different.
Okay.
Include her in the motion.
Okay, I make a motion that the city council members and the city secretary be the only ones that have access to the city storage building.
Make the second. Opposed? All in favor?
You never did answer, did you, bring my key like I asked you to?
I have all the keys to the storage unit. No particular key has been assigned to you. So when you say I need your key, I brought all the keys.
May I have one? I am supposed to have,
Now, according to the motion, you are.
I was supposed to have one before when the storage unit was,
You can take that up with him from the 2020 contract.
Okay. Do you want to distribute the keys? Get it?
I have a signature sheet so that we know who has obtained what key number and what time they obtained that key number.
You were 2013. Went out there with that concrete slab.
No lumber.
No lumber.
Get the fun, get the concrete.
Was there anybody else that had access that shouldn't have had access to the storage facility? According to the original contract?
Yes.
Oh, there was? There was 3, others than Mr. Bode.
Would you like the key, Mr. Bode? Would you like the key? What key?
I gave keys to you. I can.
You have key number what?
It was the same.
They're all linked.
It's not my handwriting.
I understand that.
So I don't know what key number you assigned to.
So how many keys did you receive when you went to the storage unit?
5 copies.
There are 5 keys. I have one, she has one, and there's 3. So I have
1, 2, 3. 3 is 6. Is that right?
Yeah.
Then I guess I have.
So you have
Which key do you have?
key 1.
And which keys are missing?
I don't know.
Which one did she sign?
Key 2.
And there's 3, 4, and 5 there.
So you have key 6.
I must have key 6.
Sign it.
Jiggy. That's what we have to do.
I can still bow out and say they're not mine.
I'm not sure.
That's why you're 6.
We'll see this on.
Would you like to keep? Would you like to keep? Would you like to keep? Now there's 6. Well. 5. This is the last one.
I mean, there's 6, it's 5 out. Pretty sure I can find somebody.
Okay, you got it? Okay. Okay, discuss position action regarding the name of city attorney.
But we never did finish up on Phillip's background check.
He hadn't done it. He said he hadn't done it.
But we need, for our people, we need to go ahead and get that done. Not wait for the audit to get done, because that's what we said in the minutes. You can't change it again and again.
Motion now?
Phillip's background check, at the last meeting, Bode said that he was gonna get that done. But now he's saying he's gonna get it done after the audit. That's not what you said prior to that. How long are you gonna keep doing this? She needs to have it done. You called her out like she's some sort of criminal. We need to do it.
Why does she alien access right now?
It doesn't matter, you already said you would do it on the last city council meeting.
2 months ago, yeah.
We voted that it was not done, it needs to be done.
Will be done.
When?
Okay,
Not in
well-
your timeframe. You don't govern this whole city council. We need to know when.
I don't.
Okay, so do you need me to go ahead and get done, to get the process started? Because we can't sit and wait on you. That was in the minutes. I will take over. So, I have a motion that Terri, get the background check started. I make a motion that I get the background check started, so we will do what we said we were going to do. Anybody second? Then I make a motion that we get the background check done, and I'll be the one to do it.
Bode going to do it?
No, he said he was.
Devin's going to do it?
We said that 2 months ago, too.
Well, he does everything like that.
I know, that's why we keep that.
Jack, that's horseshit. That's bad governance. That's bad governance that you guys are doing again. Please represent us correctly, all of you guys. Instead of bickering between the 2 of y'all, or all of y'all, govern like the council members that were voted in, that can be voted out.
We're trying to do that. So.
Mr. Bode, you're not. You're skirting everything. So please, finish.
I'm just raising my hand.
Please do what you were told to do at the last city council meeting, and don't wait till the next one to say, oh, we're gonna do it next time because I decided to do something different. Give me a key. That's not good governance. Y'all need to do your job. Y'all wanted this position, you need to do your job.
Thank you.
That's why everybody's here staring at you guys right now, because we don't trust you.
Thank you for your comment.
Can you give us a date?
We can have a special election.
I make a motion that I order the background check.
Well, you just made the motion, you didn't give a
Well,
second.
then you keep interrupting. Do I have a second?
No,
So then we-
Thank you. Look, it was asked, Andy, can you give us a date? The date that it would be complete.
What kind of,
What's that?
what kind do you want done?
I'm not familiar with it. The kind of background I check I do is completely.
See, I wasn't forgetting, I wasn't
Just like,
forgetting.
I will not be involved in this background check. It's a total conflict of interest for me. What I will do is completely different than what y'all do. She's familiar with it in this corporate world. You're familiar with the city council. I will not be doing anything with the background check. I just want to
We
make,
couldn't afford the one that you're used to.
no, I can't afford it.
It's like $11,000 a month to even
I
get to that. I didn't know much about it, I didn't know that much about it until I got.
The standard hire is $75.
Yeah.
You're the one that requested that
I
she
still
have
want
one.
to do it.
You know, regardless if you have to do the work background check.
By
You
when?
can come up with a time. 3/4 of the order.
They put a deadline on it, they can't run forever.
Just give us a date. That's all we're asking. Just tell us when you're gonna get it done.
I don't have an answer.
We're gonna have to turn it over to Terri. Because I'm not doing it.
Somebody second Terri, please.
Hey,
What?
do you have the form she needs to fill out to do the background check?
I do not.
You don't.
You also have, you also have to
Because the
sign
information,
agreements.
she does need to fill out a form saying, you know,
Yeah, I've done the research. You do.
do you have one?
I didn't know, no, I thought you were
Do
gonna
you
do it. I've done the research. I
Do
mean,
you
I can
have
figure it
a
out.
municipal, a government
I'm looking
release
at it.
form?
I did not bring the paperwork with me today. I thought that
They're.
you were supposed to do this.
They're all new.
Are we fixing in a pitfall where you're not gonna accept whatever background check we get because it's not the right one?
No. Send her the form tomorrow. Send her the form tomorrow. And you can mail it then.
I know where they live. We got property here.
So nobody's seconding my motion. Is that true?
Equal to, equal percentage.
Will be different.
Now, we don't go like that. I'm blaming you for that.
Oh, Jack, come on. That's a cop out.
Come on, Jack, you want to smoke?
I'm glad I got shorts on because it's getting deep.
Let's get on the agenda here. On the, regarding, city attorney.
Y'all don't have to know anything. Did you get hold of those attorneys that you said that you were gonna call? And I gave you one too. Did you talk to those you said you were gonna call each one of
I
those?
talked to everyone on the list. Only 2 did Johnson County.
Which 2 were those?
Taylor, Olson, Adkins, Schwala, and Elon. And the person that you gave, who is associated with, was it Bailey and Gallen?
Down, Paul.
And, they said, we do not do your type of cases.
Oh, that's not true, because I talked to him.
You may have talked to him, but the people that have the firm said, no, we do not.
I called the firm and referred me to him for work.
I would, if you're willing to have him come in here, we can talk to him, and I can have one of these folks, like Mr. Olson, who I talked to, come in, and we can ask them questions.
If we got them there and done it too, that makes it easy.
All of the others either would not respond, or they did not do Johnson County.
That speeds up. We've never
Yeah,
done it too.
that's true, and we're so small, I don't even know if any of them will now. Did this one say they would, that you talked to?
Well, see, that's the problem. We're gonna have to find out if they have a conflict of interest, because some of them do for Olson and other surrounding cities. But if we can get them to come here, most of them do not do anything in person, they will only do it remote.
That's right, that's what Paul said as well.
So, if we can
I'm
get
gonna have a special meeting.
with these guys, and you can get your guy,
Okay, can we put the deadline on that, the same as the CPA? 30 days, and then we have a special meeting?
Well, now, are you gonna get your so-called guy to come in here in the meeting?
Yeah, I'm gonna call and see if we will. But then in 30 days on the special meeting,
And then Andy can get firms,
yes, and then we can make a decision at that
and
time.
we'll make a decision.
Does that work?
Suits me.
It sounds like none of them are coming here.
I have found over the years that most of them, don't want to fool with local.
Yeah, if we get anybody, it will be virtual, or we'll have to make a phone
They'll
call.
sit out here, you know, they might take notes, and they say, well, you know, you got a bunch of rude people, y'all just bang, you know. What am I here for?
Well, they're not gonna come out, because they don't make enough money for such a small city, but we do, and we can call the city attorney and go, is it okay to do this? Is it okay not to pay payroll? Is it okay not to, you know, and they of course will, they let the city council know what is right and wrong. You know, because
Well,
everybody
yes,
does,
that's a real big possibility.
not run the city, but just keep them in line with the laws.
I just don't remember, any, thing in the past that like I have seen in the last 2 months.
Sir, because nobody knew you were having city council members in here. I mean, city meetings, when I walked in the door, Carolyn Johnson was the first one to say, what are you people doing here? Nobody comes to these meetings. Were there any people when you all had city council meetings besides the council? So that's probably why. So if we could just, you know, see about adding that, the city attorney with the CPA at the same time.
It's hard to find the municipal, pardon me, my allergies. It's hard to find a municipal attorney. I called around too. I called Robert Sparks, who was our former attorney. He's already retired. He was from Cleveland, mostly out of Cleveland. They just don't do this.
Didn't the AG give you guys a
Well, it's not enough money in there, something.
TML?
TML.
Yeah.
They're under some particular other.
That doesn't mean all do it, but that's what I understand. But you've got two that you can talk. You got narrowed down to two, which makes it a lot faster.
That's good.
Yeah. Y'all need to do a Zoom meeting with them. That'd be the easiest thing.
All right. Number 14.
We've already talked about that.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
We're on 14.
On number 14, was that's where we're included in the audit?
Do an audit, all that stuff. I don't think you do an audit, all the way down.
The last item on the agenda, city website, emails, or mail. Well, you just forget about that.
Hang on now, the fire department has an operating website. We've gone back and forth on this website thing for years. Who's doing the fire department website?
He's talking about he was just talking about the email address.
The website is paid for.
So we can add email addresses to that
Email
website.
address.
Yeah. You need to have it, you need to keep it email accounts, because people have those in their own website, and even stuff that I think, even though Mabry might not check the website, but stuff from the state, I think is emailed to him on that email. I mean, in this day and time, you really have to have it, and that's how you communicate. So I hope that y'all do plan on updating the payment on those. Is this what this is insinuating, that you might not? Or they do, and are you gonna pay them? Because you cannot just decide not to pay them. You have to ask the city council. I hope you're not just not paying bills for control. You're not.
Now, what are you talking about now, Kevin? I mean, with Terry?
The email sites for the city, for yours and the city secretaries. Communications. That's how people communicate with us.
Communicate with who?
The city secretary who does the open meetings, that, open meetings, all the people that ask her for items and everything like that, it's all done by email. You have to keep those up. How else are they going to contact her to say, I want this, I want that?
You didn't understand what I said.
What?
I don't need an email.
I understood that, sir, but the state emails the mayor's account, and then the city secretary gets those. So even though you're not looking at it, somebody needs to look at it. Because it could be important, even though you don't have an email or internet access, they still need to be looked at.
Well, that's true.
The world is evolving, you gotta keep up.
Yeah, so where are we at with the payment? Are they due for payment?
The payment is due tomorrow. We're already 30 days late.
Okay, this is a problem. So those that changed the account and items didn't get paid, you basically took it in your own hands to have these email accounts canceled.
I thought Jack Perkey said that let it run out in July.
She said that you said the one that run out in July, the city emails?
That's meeting we talked about.
Did you talk about it in front of the city council?
Yes.
Yes, I remember it.
Yep.
What was the vote?
Yeah, who's gonna vote? There was no vote for that.
Well, that's the way it was left.
That's the way it was left.
Yes.
Then it wasn't voted on.
No, the city council has to vote for that.
Well, that's.
You cannot just decide not
That's
to
the way
pay
it
that.
was left.
That is a
It
major
was-
infraction.
I
Major.
can't help it. That's
Oh.
what it was said. That's what it was said.
It wasn't voted on.
Violation of
So
law.
you want to tell me that you're not gonna pay that?
I'm not going to
Because
get the
you,
bill paid. How to pay the bill?
It's
I
gonna
see.
have to be paid by a debit card.
I second that.
How do we get the bill paid?
Somebody's gonna have to,
Do we have that card?
the city used to have a debit card and that's how the website was paid for.
Do we have that card?
And do you have a debit card on the new city's website? I mean, the new city's bank
Can
account?
we do it from the bank or anything? How do we pay?
It needs to be done. The emails need to be paid. You cannot make the decision by not paying the bill.
What email are you talking about?
None of the websites is donated by the former mayor.
Right, that's the website. Now the city has that.
The city paid for it.
Aren't the emails went through our website?
That's an audit. It said it doesn't, he turned it on.
Yes.
I would like to know where the bill went so that it could have been paid. Did it go to you, Kelly? How do you know the bill
Automatically,
is
it's
due?
automatic deduction.
I have a follow-up question, so if everybody be quiet. Did you get the bill by email that it was due?
Yeah.
Did you forward it to anybody? Anybody? Call
Nobody
in,
has asked
tell
for
it?
anything. How was I supposed to know the accounts were closed?
Do you have a phone you can call and ask him? But my follow-up question is this.
Why would I even need to call and
They
ask
took
if the
all-
account was
If
closed?
it's a bill that's due,
They took it all away from her.
Yeah, they
I
told me.
know, she could call there and say there's a bill due.
Was it on automatic?
The other question is, can I see the contracts for this website, please?
For people that are
I would like to review the contracts for the website,
Come on, Mark.
please.
I don't have the bonding for second.
This is another thing, there's ramifications of pulling in an.
I don't need your input, Terry. I didn't ask you.
I don't care if it's.
I don't
We didn't ask for yours either.
I was asking a question. I did not need your input. When I need it, I'll ask for it.
Thank you, Deborah Bode.
Thank you, Terry Richard. I asked to see a contract.
Continue.
All I asked was to see a copy of contracts.
Did Kelly tell everybody on council to make sure everything was updated? Did she ever send an email to y'all to say, make sure all the outstanding accounts were updated, to make sure, when the mayor told her the accounts were closed, and she found that out, did she notify y'all to tell y'all to make sure things were updated?
I didn't do
No.
I sent an email on June 30th to everybody on council.
I didn't see it.
You're the one who told her the accounts were closed.
You told me the information, so I relayed it to the rest of the council. I have a recorded phone call.
Yeah,
with
but
you.
that's gonna get you in trouble.
No, it's not. It's not against the law to record you. I told you we're on a recorded line.
I know.
Okay. It's not against the law to record income calls.
Okay, now, let me ask you this. The next time you get a email for an account that needs to be paid, what are you gonna do with it?
Mail it to you?
Either mail it to me or send it to Carolyn or Andy, and we'll see it is paid.
What about the other council members?
Yeah, I feel like we like.
You got favorites here, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Why would you send it to Carolyn if she's not on the account?
What?
You don't trust the other side, you don't trust the right side of the council?
Well, they don't pay the bills.
Carolyn doesn't.
She wasn't on the account.
Carolyn doesn't either, she's not on the account.
She takes all my email stuff, the stuff that comes in, goes to Carolyn.
Yeah.
Carolyn sits there like,
I see it.
that's the reason why Carolyn.
So y'all three run the city?
No.
No, I don't.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Why did you make this decision to shut down the email accounts without anybody's approval? It was never voted on. That is a discretion.
So you're judge.
Well, you said it over too.
Oh, I was here and the minutes was never brought up to a vote.
It,
You're not gonna
Jack
give it a good
said,
side.
That doesn't matter.
Issue by
The council didn't vote on it.
I
There's a lot of things that are
said,
said and tabled.
it was said at a meeting.
It doesn't make it okay. It was not, there was
It
no
was-
motion made.
I
It was
didn't
not
say it
voted
was
on.
okay, I just said, Jack said, let it run out, it runs out in July. I didn't know it ran out in July myself. He knew.
I think there's even
Somebody
some
discussed
confusion over
it.
website.
Emails run out tomorrow.
That's what I'm saying, I think there's even still some confusion from last meeting to this meeting, over what runs out when, what's paid, what's not, what was donated, and you got, the fact is, that bill needs to be paid tomorrow, regardless.
So is it gonna get
That's
voted?
my, is how we pay that bill tomorrow.
That's not typable.
That's not.
The website, the website.
Can't do this separate.
At one time, it was up in the air, you know, we were gonna keep
Address
the
to that website.
This
So
is
that
not
there's
about-
But
That's an email she can pay. If you're something different with the website letter, then that's something we can discuss, something we can vote on, something we can change, something we can keep, that's fine. But these emails need to be paid
Yes.
tomorrow. That's my point. So, the confusion between emails, website.
So I think the people that are in control of the city's money need to pay those email accounts tomorrow, because it was never a motion for us to drop those. Can you tell us, are those things that need to pay tomorrow? Because we don't have the power, you two do.
And what is this?
The email accounts, the city, were not approved to be shut down, and basically you're not paying them, shutting them down. So they have to be paid tomorrow with a debit card. You, Mayor, and Andy Bode have control of the city's account. Are you going to get those paid tomorrow?
Is it in the budget?
That's a valid question. I don't know.
Is it in the
Where's
budget?
Well, I don't get it. Y'all been paying it all year.
I don't care if it's in the
Now all of a
budget,
sudden,
if we voted it's paid tonight, it's paid.
That's right. They can't just decide to get rid of it because you're not, you alone, you two are not the city council. You can't do that.
There's
And
a
those
line
are
item
the bill file.
It's a line
Why do
item.
we have a budget?
Make a motion to pay them.
I did.
There's a
I
I
line
made a
item.
motion that bill gets paid tomorrow,
A second
but I can't pay it. I don't think we should lose the email.
They can't, but they're very responsible if the council voted on it.
And you make copies of the bills?
Yes.
You can approve them.
Like, I don't want to send the prayers to Laux.
I don't got any money.
Unfortunately, no.
Mr. Mayor, you had a motion and a second over here for payment.
Okay, well, that's what I'm getting at.
Okay. You guys are talking amongst yourselves.
Would it be faster if she emails it to Mr. Bode? So that way Mr. Bode will be paying it tomorrow?
Bills will be paid.
That's not what I said. I said paid tomorrow.
Yeah, yes, it has been.
If we get,
Was not saying
if
that
we
we
get
have
invoices or
bills.
something to show, they will be paid. And they will be paid tomorrow. Then from now on, all invoices or emails that come in to Kelly, she will print them off and they will be mailed or the same mail to me. And they, I don't know, and when we pay. Is that agreeable with all y'all?
Is this a stopgap until we're back to a treasurer?
Do what, Rick?
Is this a stopgap until we're back to a treasurer position, or?
Well, anything to stop them from until we can get it taken care of.
Didn't have a problem.
This is,
I
I hate to tell you, but half this stuff is Greek to me, and I haven't ever heard it.
Right.
So,
But y'all saw the team that was being auto-paid when y'all closed the accounts. It was auto-paid every month. It's not a bill that Kelly ever paid, it was auto-paid. That was set up previously by the previous mayor.
Which saves money.
Just because something's easier doesn't mean it's right.
It saves the city money to do
You don't have to have auto pays, and if you're going to pay for something, you really should keep with your procedures and have 2 signatures.
Do you have procedures that say 2 signatures on a check?
I'm saying it needs 2 signatures on the checks, it should.
Most government entities don't have one. That's fine.
Most online website companies don't accept checks.
Yes, they do. For a
They-
government entity, yes, they do.
They don't whenever they have proven bounce checks.
Yes, they do.
When they have proven bounce
Government
checks.
entities. Bottom line is, you cannot make the decision to cancel this. If you felt that way, then you should have paid it and then said,
He asked me a direct question, I'm just answering that. Don't lecture me about it. Please, that's all I'm asking. I'm willing to listen to you, but don't lecture me.
I don't think it was a case of they decided they were gonna pay it and cancel it. They didn't have the bill to pay. There's a difference there, whether you realize it or not, Terry, and it's a correction to you. His name is Mabry, not Mayberry.
Mabry.
Mabry. You say
Oh,
Mayberry.
is that right?
You say Mayberry.
I'm sorry.
I'm just trying to,
I truncate everything.
I get tired of hearing Mayberry, like he's from RFB.
Okay, coming from you, okay, that's great. No. So, we need to rectify this. So if you get a bill, you're gonna pay it?
yes,
We'll get it.
we get them, we pay.
Said that for you.
Why wouldn't we?
Terry, you talking to the mayor or the mayor?
I was talking to both of them. Well, just because a lot is going on lately about things not getting paid. I don't know what other question.
Okay? Anybody? Anything else to say?
I have one thing on a light note. I asked about the fall picnic. Y'all didn't say anything, yes or no, about that. I still want everybody to meet you guys.
Well, my understanding, it was tried one time.
I'll rewrite the thing, Mr. Mayor, we'll get it taken care
Well, where are you gonna have it
of. I'm asking for permission for you to let me do this, and if you say yes, then I'll figure that out. I'll get in contact with the fire department if I need to. We've got folks that have acreage here that we can reach out to. If you say yes, then I will go forward with this. That's all I'm asking. I want the people to know you guys. Instead of us arguing all the time, we do have some good things here that I'd like to see that people want to show.
I have an idea. Why don't you get it together? You don't need city council approval to have a city meeting. Get together and all.
Okay.
Get it together. If they show up, they do. If they don't, they
Well, I
don't.
want you guys to show up. That's why I'm bringing it to you.
It sounds neighborly to me, that's a word people hear from a lot right here.
I think it's a great idea.
Um,
What do y'all think? The fall festival, I think it's a great idea.
You've heard me mention
The
the
fall
culture.
festival, I think it's a great
Exactly
idea.
what you're talking about.
The
So
fall.
you get a Dunkin' good for the councilman.
Everybody else suggested that fall picnic, and I said, I think it's a great idea, you should just get it together. And, you know, if it's good for city council members choose to go, that's great, if you choose not to, that's up to you.
Well, I make a motion that we then he'll get the big deal.
That's it.
There we go, that's all I'm asking. I want you guys to be a part of it, that's what I'm trying to get at.
And if we go for it, we should be a part of it.
Exactly, that's why I'm saying that.
Go get your email.
I can have a party, I can have a party in my front yard while I'm on the lawn, but this needs to be a community exercise, community event.
Bill Gates only tried once and gave up.
Okay, was that motion?
Perkey motion that we have it, and I seconded it.
Jack, you seconded it?
They're gonna vote it out.
I appreciate it. Ask for something.
You just want their support.
Yeah, that's exactly what I
All in favor?
want. Thank you.
Okay, it's up to you.
It's up to me. Mr. Mayor, I'll let you take here.
There's one more item that we skipped over before we adjourn, because we've been talking about the email accounts, but what, and the city websites on here. Did anybody want to say anything about that?
Yeah,
Nobody liked it, he did.
I'll say something about that.
Don't.
First off, Mrs. Bode, I apologize. And I apologize for earlier. I'll let my motions with the best of me. Mayor, I apologize to you as well. I came to talk about the city website. Thank you for recording the city council meetings, or I would have missed the last one. But there were some things said that were 100% incorrect about that website. And so I just came to clarify. One, I would first like to ask, Mr. Bode was asked earlier, how long have you sat on that council?
Since 2012, I believe.
2012. Okay, and in that time, has anyone brought the idea of a website to you guys?
Yeah, I was one of them, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, I know, I talked to you a lot about the website.
There's a good reason to have a website.
Yeah, no doubt. So a couple things that you stated that were incorrect. One, .com is not associated with commercial sales anymore, and it hasn't been since like 1995. Two, if you don't want a .com, that's fine. We mimicked that website off the city of Burleson. They use .com. A lot of cities use .com. The .gov requirements were difficult, and we were looking for something to build that the city could use. It was built in 2 days by two people, myself and my wife. Neither one of us were web designers. It was also stated that it took us a year to build. That's not true. As everyone here has mentioned multiple times, you guys only meet once every 2 months. It took you guys at least 4 meetings just to get that thing approved, even though we had already built it. Just like Mrs. Witcher pointed out in the last meeting, I don't need your approval to build a city website. I can build that website. I can build any website I like, in fact. All I have to do is purchase the domain, and that's what I did. As far as the statement of it doesn't have the backbone, I'm not sure what that means. That's not even the correct terminology. So again, I just wanted to come today and clarify a few things. You also stated that there was one email. That's not true. We could add as many emails as we would like. In fact, it would behoove all of you to get a Briaroaks.texas.com or whatever domain you decide. If you would like to let that website die, that's okay. It is due 10/14 to renew it. Another point was it was donated to the city. Again, my wife and I built it. We paid the initial fees. You guys did not reimburse us for that. The only reimbursement happened when it was renewed. Any arguments? Any debates on that? Because you're smiling. I would give you the opportunity, Ken. We can have a discussion. There's no need to, we've seen enough argument tonight. Again,
I was at the meetings, the mayor was clear that it was donated first.
say that again?
I was at the meetings and the mayor was clear to us that it was donated first.
Sure, it was stated that it wasn't in the last meeting. So, and the question was if it was donated, then why was he reimbursed? Because he paid for it out of his own pocket for the renewal, and he got reimbursed.
That was not brought to the point.
What was not brought to the That's fine, that's unfortunately, I don't know, that's past, so
Right.
you missed out, but
Things like that need to come out of the budget. It has to be budgeted, that's state law.
You're absolutely right. And so, again, when you approve something as a council that you know costs money, you should probably put that in your budget, no?
You're right.
Yeah.
I have a question.
What a novel idea.
I have a question, Ms. Bode. You said that it would have been illegal or it shouldn't have been done. Mr. Bode signed the check.
That is, I'm not even gonna get into that right now for a very valid reason.
Yeah, no, it's okay. That's fine. Mr. Bode signed the check.
I don't,
Again,
I have
Mr.
a
Bode,
reason why.
I'm not here to attack you.
But it has to go in the budget, and next meeting, the October meeting, they will be working on the budget.
That's fine. Again, I'm not here to attack anybody. I just wanted to set the record straight that there were things said in the last meeting that were absolutely incorrect.
And the thing to do is to tell them how much needs to be budgeted.
Okay, again, I'm not on the council. I donated that website to you guys. If Mrs. Alfman or her husband would like to take, and I apologize if I pronounced your name wrong, but if they would like to take control of that, that's fine. I didn't want
Right.
financial responsibility, or I would have paid it myself.
I understand, but that's where it's gotta go.
I understand that. Again, I'm not here to
I know, but
debate the
you-
validity or the payment of the email. I'm just here to state that what was said in the last meeting was incorrect, and I want that clear, and that's all.
There were two problems with this. One is communication. We all seem to have a problem with communication. And we need to communicate better with the person running the website. We never got your contact information. We asked for it.
Well, I was here and my goddamn father-in-law was the mayor. Come on, man.
No, I'm telling you, he wouldn't give it up.
Again,
That's
You
the
were at
big.
those meetings.
I was at those meetings.
Okay.
Yes, I was. I did not stop coming to those meetings until COVID, actually. And again, it's not important. I just wanted to clear up what you stated was incorrect about the website. And if you guys, vote to get rid of it, that's okay. That's fine. But I want to at least let the rest of the council members know, based on what you said, it was incorrect. If they want to vote, they need to at least be knowledgeable in what they're voting on.
If we don't know what to ask, we don't even know what to put in the budget. We have to, somebody has to be
That's fine.
our expert.
Okay, that's fine.
If you're the one that's been doing it, and you pay for it out of your pocket, you give them an idea of the budget, how much you.
Absolutely.
That's the thing.
I just paid it last
Well,
week.
they say they pay it.
Well,
They should just.
it changes.
I'm just saying, as far as your comments about security, no offense, sir.
You
You have no clue what you're talking about.
You budget for
We're
increases.
talking about two different things, all he has to do is tell them how much needs to be budgeted.
Again, I didn't want to start an argument, it's okay. I appreciate this vote, I will get to it.
That's all I was asking.
Not a problem. Not a problem. Again, I didn't have any intention of financially running this.
Yeah, get a motion on the table.
Mayor, before we adjourn, I'd like to have a request. Kelly emailed that she had received a public information request from Donna Davis. And I would like to have that emailed to me, the request, please.
It is an email.
I received
I
that.
want her application.
Application, it's attached to the email.
I don't see it.
It was in the email, I looked at it. It is attached.
Her request is on that email.
Is this it? It just, this is all I got.
It's an attachment to the email.
It's not on that piece of paper, ma'am.
I didn't
Yeah, try to put it on the table.
Yeah, click on it.
Did you get it? Attachment?
I did.
Let's see what oh, I probably won't.
They're awkward.
Okay, anybody else? Okay, I hear a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second that.
All in favor?
Thank you.